Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is December 6, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching gold fail to hold on to its gains and sell off. But first, looking at today's major economic events, so we start out the day at 1 p.m. South African time. First, out of Great Britain, we have Bank of England's Governor Bailey will be speaking, and that's followed at 5 p.m. South African time. Out of Canada, Bank of Canada will be coming out and publishing an interest rate statement. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro trickling lower, and as we look at the indices, the Dow Jones bounces, but the NASDAQ just inching higher. Now, looking at commodities, both gold and oil sold off, and as we look at the stocks, Apple had a nice pop-up yesterday. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin keeps on going higher. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we're going to start out with the Euro USD. Now it's not a big deal. It's just trickling down just a few or maybe 10 to 20 pips day to day. But it's getting closer to two major things. Number one, we are sitting on a supportish area. If you look at the blue line that is where we're hitting right now, that is a supportish area. That's a 30-day moving average. Now if we breach that, our next support area is 107.33. Now 107.33 is 50% retracement from our nice move from 105 to 110 and then retracement. Okay, so keep that in mind, as that is something that will be anticipated if this continues going. Now, looking at the GBP USD, didn't budge that much on the downside, so it's holding up and it's changing its character. It's becoming a little bit stronger, but for right now, it's just steady. Now, jumping into commodities, gold retracing to 2023. Let's take a look at a daily, just give us a perspective here. We completely sold off here. Okay, we continue to trickle down. Now, this is not a major thing, but it's an eye-opener. Number one, we hit new highs. We couldn't sustain those highs, and we couldn't hold it. That's disconcerting. Now, if we look at a weekly chart, just to give us a perspective, we've been here before. Now, we haven't held it, though, but we've been here before. If we look at a monthly, it looks like it wants to go, but it's not going. Okay, and until it really shows us that it wants to go and it's going to push out higher with inflation in check and with some, the market's not expanding as quickly as we want it to be, this may still retrace. So keep that in mind, as this is still a player. Now, looking at crude oil, down to $72 a barrel. Now, we're at that point where we should anticipate a bounce, but just remember, this could break down lower. Okay, we've been in the $66 range before in this past year, so this could really break out lower. And what I want to highlight is, if you look at a longer time frame, this is on a downwards momentum, downwards trend over time. So keep that in mind, as this may still break lower. Now, looking at the stocks, okay, first at the stock markets, the Dow Jones pushing higher to 36,200, coming right back. Okay, there it goes. That's what I'm talking about. And looking at the NASDAQ, just trickling and inching higher. Nothing really big and no big moves higher, okay? However, let's take a look at the stocks. Number one, Apple, moving higher to 193. That's a decent move for Apple. And that's also above its 30-day moving average, obviously, but breaking higher, okay, on the short term as well. That's really important. Now, the second stock I want to bring your attention to is NVIDIA. Finally getting that bounce. And this might be a turning point for these guys. However, the bank stocks are still very strong. If you look at JP Morgan, still on its highs, on top of its highs for that yearly high of 157. If you look at Bank of America, also on its higher end. And so what this means is that gold stocks are moving the markets higher. Now, at a certain point, I do expect the tech stocks to bring us higher as well. So just keep that in mind, that these retracements are just a setup for moving higher. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, this is the Bitcoin we missed, right? This is the Bitcoin we all know and love, right? Look at where it's at, 43,785. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, this is really just a resurgence of Bitcoin in a way that we haven't seen in a long time, since 2022, which is, close to almost 2 years ago, when we're talking about the end of December and February of 2022. So this is really very just eye-wondering, okay, what's going on with Bitcoin. it's going up. I don't know why, but it's going up. And as a technical trader, intraday trader, this is just tremendous opportunity for all of us, okay, as we rally into the end of the year. And this has happened before, so keep that in mind as well. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.